Class, settle down now. It's time for the book report. Yay!
You're really leaning into that.
Look, I love that title. Molly came up with the title, The Book Report, and I think it's the best show title we've ever had. And yes, I am leaning hard into the book report. We are going to deliver book reports today. I'm very excited.
I thought of it like on a walk one day, and I was like, "This is dumb," but it's the Book of Boba Fett. We should have like book reports.
It is dumb, and that's what makes it great. And we have a guest. We brought someone in for show and tell. He's just this like tiny little channel. You know, we're doing him a favor. We're just going to throw him a bone here. But welcome, Mr. Sunday Movies, to the stream.
Thank you.
I'm so excited to actually like do something with you on our channel.
Oh no, I really appreciate it. This is look, I will talk Star Wars every day for the rest of my life. I might have to anyway, regardless of whether I want to or not. But no, I wouldn't pass up the opportunity to do a book report on. When you sent the name over, I'm like, great name, you've nailed it. It's just perfect. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Mine were all. I can't even remember the ones I was throwing around. I was like, we could just keep the clone zone because Boba Fett is a clone, and then
sure.
Molly was just like, mic dropped the book report. I was like,
does that mean you have to come up with a new and inventive name for every new series? Is that how it's going to work now? Or are you going to?
We try to, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Kenobi seems like a hard one to make a pun out of, but we'll try.
Absolutely, yeah. I love it.
There's a Hello There show name in there somewhere. I just got to think of it.
It could be like a morning show.
Mm.
Hello there, Tatooine. Tatooine. Ooh, that's.
I think that is one. I think I might have just stolen somebody's one that I've said. Yeah.
Okay. I like Daniel. Let's just like right out the gate talk about the greatest thing to happen in this episode, and it's my boy Max popping up.
God damn, he's back. He's looking good.
I was so happy. So James, how did you find this episode? What do you think of the series so far?
I mean, I quite liked it. I think I've seen a few complaints that like it didn't do enough, but I think it did quite a lot, actually. I think it answered questions that have been like on people's minds for like 40 years, like specifically how did he get out? Look, I'll be lying if I said I wasn't a bit disappointed that he didn't like jetpack out firing a rocket launcher and did a spin or whatever. But the idea of like Kill Bill style, like crawling his way out through the sand, I quite liked. And it also felt very like harrowing, when you first see him and it comes in on him and he's just tangled up. It was just, it felt awful to look at. Yeah. What about you guys?
I've really come around on it. I think I have this weird relationship, with new Star Wars stuff where every time I watch it, I have to accept it for what it is and not, whatever I've been building it up to be. And I think the first time it was over and we were just like, okay. And then I was like, I'm going to go write about it and do my review. And as I was writing it, I was like, oh, this is doing a lot more than I was giving it credit for. And I came to like it a lot more. And then I watched it a second time. It's still, some of the flashback stuff I thought just went on a little long, but overall, I really like the story that it is telling.
Yeah. It was kind of a slow burn, and there are just like a lot of quiet moments. But I think, after watching it a second time, I was like, okay, this is setting up some good vibes, some good Boba Fett vibes for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like quiet for the first 5 minutes.
He doesn't say anything. We don't hear any lines from him until like 10 minutes in. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I also agree with you on the flashbacks because like we know it kind of gets to the point where he's in charge of some sand people or there's mutual respect there, but it felt like it was really like taking us through that step by step, and it's like some of these things you could like you can speed up a little bit, I feel, but because I am more interested in like what happened to him after than that necessarily, but there's some really good stuff in there regardless, especially the fight with the sand Goro, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. It's tough because I am for sure being hypocritical when I'm like, I'm really more interested in the crime lord stuff, but I also came into the series like, well, they better talk about how he got out of the Sarlacc pit, and they better show us where he's been for 5 years, and they better do this and this and this. It's like, I want to see all this stuff, but I also am like, but don't spend too much time doing that. Like,
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they didn't really answer a whole lot of questions we had from him in Mando, like when he the time that he spent on Tatooine and just like, yeah, what he's been up to, how long he was with the Tuscan Raiders. So I'm sure they'll go into all that though.
Yeah. That's it. We kind of like did a real quick refresh on we just watched The Tragedy last night just to get back into the Boba Fett mindset. And I only bring that up to say Molly cried when she saw Grogu again because we hadn't watched we hadn't watched The Mandalorian in like a year.
I missed him. And also I was thinking like nothing is going to be as good as Grogu in Book of Boba Fett. It's just not. I was sad about that.
Max, we got Max.
That's true. And unless he's in it, I mean, imagine a little tiny Max Rebo. You know what I mean? Like a little cute one.
That's what they should have done. I was like, I think something that was missing from this episode is just like a really good hook at the end, like Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Where you're like, oh, that's intriguing. I want to see where this goes. If we just had Baby Max Rebo, then I think a lot of people would be just singing this series praises. They would have been like, forget Baby Yoda, Baby Max Rebo.
That's right. Give him a tiny little guitar and just kind of let him go.
Yeah, we've really been spoiled on like the first episodes of like The Mandalorian so far, with them just being like having these big reveals.
Yeah.
So this one didn't have a huge reveal.
Was the first episode of The Mandalorian, was Baby Yoda in that, or was it the second one?
He was at the very end.
Yeah. It was the very end of the first one. Okay. So it's been like, it feels like it's been like 10 years. But
it does.
Yeah.
It feels like Baby Yoda's always been with us.
And then we got the crate dragon in the first episode of season 2.
Yeah.
Is that
was incredible. Yeah.
And Cobb Vanth.
And Cobb Vanth.
Of course. Very handsome man, Cobb Vanth. Yeah. Always good to see him.
And I just want to point out, because I forgot to mention at the top, I'm seeing super chats come in. Thank you, everyone. We will respond to all of them. The way we do our after shows is we're just going to talk for like 20 or 30 minutes about the episode amongst ourselves, and then we are going to dive into your questions. But we will answer all your super chats, I promise.
I will not be taking questions at this time, but I will sit silently. Yeah.
James will sit there silently. Well, let's get into some of our book report questions. James, what was your favorite part of the episode?
Well, look, I think this is probably a bit of a cop-out, but I'm trying to do a clever book report answer. I think the idea that Temuera Morrison, and I'm sorry, I seem to always pronounce that wrong, even though he's from New Zealand, which is the country next to my country. The idea that he's like this 60-year-old Maori actor who played this role, 20-odd years ago. And at the time, I'm like, I don't like how they've changed like Boba Fett's original voice and whatever. It's weird that he's a New Zealander now. That's weird for me as an Australian. I don't know if I could gel with that. But seeing him come back now and being the lead of a show, and just, he's such an incredible actor. I don't know if you guys have seen Once Were Warriors and some of his other stuff. Just like the fact that it's this huge, massive budget Star Wars show that everybody in the world is going to watch. And the lead is just this like 60-year-old dude. I think that's incredible. I think that's really amazing. And it really like sells the authenticity of the world as well. Because he's not like super handsome and cool. He is super handsome and cool, but you know what I mean? You don't see shows led by people like him a lot. Do you know what I mean? And I think that really adds something to it. So that's what I liked. One of the things that I liked about it. Yeah.
That's something we were talking about last night, is the idea that this show, the two leads are 60 and 58 in this like action Star Wars show. And that is pretty awesome. Molly, what was your favorite part?
Aside from getting to see Max Rebo again, I think my favorite part, because I really liked when he has a little bit of dry humor when he's like sitting on the throne and he's getting these tributes from all these different characters, and he has that one line where he's like, "I'm the crime lord." Like, it's like, is he? Like, the way he said that, he's just like, this is my title now. Like, and I don't know.
What the hell?
Yeah. That whole scene I liked, just because the way he delivered some of those lines was really good. And any 8D8 content that I can get is just delightful.
8D8 is fun.
Is that the droid who's like talking to him or whatever?
And so he's voiced by Matt
Matt
Berry.
Berry, right? Yeah, I
Or
saw that
Matt
in
Berry.
Matt Perry, imagine. No, but even better, Matt Berry. Yeah, I saw that. I love that when the credits come up and it's like you see a name and you're like, oh my god, I love him. You know, it's great. Yeah.
That I really liked 8D8's annoyance, I would say, when when Boba Fett was like, I will not be torturing anyone. 8D8's like, well, what are we doing here? Like, that's kind of my whole thing.
Yeah.
I really liked him, and the idea that where Boba's like, oh god, we need a protocol droid, but all we have is 8D8. He was like the only thing left over, so
yeah,
I guess we'll use him.
I noticed in the art at the end, they had a protocol droid's head on a plate, like sitting next to the chair, and I wonder whether they're gonna like do that at some point. Just be like, we found this head, I guess, so we'll use this. Yeah,
I like the idea that maybe 8D8 got bored and just killed the protocol droid. That's,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh, you needed that? My bad. Like, Bib wasn't using it, so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. My favorite part, I mean, it genuinely was just seeing Max Rebo. Like, that's Molly posted a picture of us reacting to the episode, and she's like, guess what this is? And it was absolutely Max Rebo. But I think the whole beginning sequence with the flashbacks to Camino, to Geonosis, and then of course the Sarlacc pit. But I really loved that they connected this show so firmly back to the prequels, and they didn't just like brush anything under the rug, because I feel like they have been doing that in the past, where the only real solid mention I feel like we got in the sequel trilogy was Luke Skywalker saying the name Darth Sidious, and I was like, that's cool. Could have done more.
Exactly. I remember in The Force Awakens where it was like they blew up the politics planet, all the planet with all the politics. They blew up. Actually, there were several planets, and they're all gone. Like every politician in the universe has been obliterated. You know, I agree. Like I'm not the huge prequels fan, but I love the callbacks. And was that new footage of Geonosis?
Yes. They changed it a little bit.
They recreated that shot.
It seemed like the Boba Fett, but the young Boba Fett stuff was like angled differently as well. Did I imagine that?
Oh no, I think it was all new, and like the shot of him looking at the helmet was new. I
like
think
the close
what
up
they did,
one,
yeah. So in the credits, Daniel Logan was listed as young Boba Fett, but there was also a young Boba Fett double. So I do think they recreated that scene, and then Daniel Logan's face might have been in the reflection or something. I'm not sure how they did it, but they definitely recreated it, which makes me think they're gonna do more with it, or I don't know. It seems odd to recreate that for no real reason.
Yeah.
I guess it was just to get the shot of
they've also got a lot of money as well. They got so much money, they're just like, yeah, we can do this, and then never come back to it. You know?
Yeah, oops, we have leftover budget. Let's remake a scene, I guess. I don't know.
I think it would have felt weird though if they just plonked in like an original shot. I think it would have been strange. Like it would have like tonally, I think it wouldn't have worked. Like there's a distinct look between these series, and like, well, each movie looks differently, but in particular the era. So I think it would have felt strange, to just put it straight in. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if they go that far back with flashbacks, if they continue to do that, and really, because he has a really cool relationship with his father in the comics mostly, where they're all about reputation and stuff. And so
could be archive.
Interesting.
That's true. That's a good point.
My first thought when he gets beat up in the street by the red cloaked people, I was like, oh, that's going to be terrible for your reputation. And I feel like that's really going to make him pissed off and want to go back at the mayor. So yeah, I would love to see a flashback where like he is playing Jango Fett as well, talking to young Boba Fett or something. I think that'd be cool.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Daniel Logan come back as like a 30-year-old Boba Fett as well at some point. Yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, that'd be fun if they did all of these things.
Yeah, all of the things that we want. It would be great if they just did them, please.
Instead of saying who are the main characters of this book, like this book report once, who are the standout characters for you guys? Molly, we'll start with you this time.
I mean, Ming-Na Wen's character, Fennic Shand, is just, she's so badass. And like, she didn't get that many lines, but she had the cool like parkour moments chasing those two dudes down. And I was like, man, I want to be here when I grow up.
I love that when she comes around a corner and they throw that knife and she does like this weird flip cartwheel thing. I'm just like, that was sick.
Yeah.
That was a sick flip. Yeah. I was like, I agree. I totally agree. Yeah. She's so great. She's excellent. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like, was her keeping her around? That was like something that they figured out, I think, along the way, like, because they liked her character so much and like previously. Is that right, Alex?
I think that's what she said in an interview with the Hollywood Reporter, where I think in the script she was supposed to just like come in and die, but then she and Dave Filoni bonded over going to the same school, I think. And
yeah.
And they liked working with her, so they were like, let's bring her back. So I don't know if the Boba Fett little tag at the end of chapter 5 of the first season of Mandalorian, if they had that planned and filmed it, or if it was shot after the fact. I don't know, but she did suggest that the original plan was for her to just come in and die. But thank God she didn't.
Yeah, I hope that they go into like if they knew each other before all of this, because they seem to have a pretty close relationship. Like when he gets up and he says to her like the dreams are back, and I was like, oh, he tells her about his dreams. So
yeah. I feel like there is a. Oh, me too. I feel like there was look, because I have a very my relationship with Boba Fett, if you call it that. Like it's a complicated one in terms of before this and outside of the comics. He's not competent, I feel, as a bounty hunter. And it's interesting seeing these levels of depth to him. Like, yeah, like he dreams. Yeah, he has friends. Yeah, he gets upset when people don't think he's a crime lord. He's kind of petty. Do you know what I mean? And he's, you know, and he's very human. Like if you hit him hard enough with a stick, he'll have to have a lie down in a bath, you know? Like all of these, which by the way, the Bacta tank, I love the idea of like, oh, you can just put them horizontal. Like they don't need to be this huge carnival dunk tank that you got to climb out of the top of. Like,
they don't have to wear a diaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, okay, here's my thing about that is I like to think that the Gamorrean guards didn't know what they were doing, because he was in a diaper in the first scene, and then the Gamorrean guards drag him in there and just kind of dump him in.
They're like, I guess
like, it's gonna bleach my clothes or something. You fools.
Yeah.
But I like that it kind of shows technological progression, because it used to be a big tank and now it's a little smaller, and then by the time of The Last Jedi you can just wear it like a suit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess it's also like that Rebel base one was probably like a tank that they found and maybe like retrofitted or something. Do you know what I mean? They're just like, oh, whatever. I don't know what to do with, you know, we just use whatever. But in terms of characters for me, and Brett has brought this up in the chat. It's a super chat, if you don't mind me saying. Brett Balmer with $4.99. He mentions the first time when we've seen a Trandoshan speak in English live action. The model was also way better looking than Mando season 1. Bosk incoming. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, when he started speaking English, it really like it spun me out. As people are saying in the comments now that it's weird seeing me talk, like seeing my face move. Yeah, that really was like, oh, they could speak English. I didn't even consider this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's true in live action. Yeah, that they've only ever growled.
So I should mention. Yeah.
And exactly. I didn't even realize that he was holding a Wookiee pelt until the second time I watched the episode, and I was like, oh, I mean, that makes sense, the Trandoshan, but it was hard to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you never want to think about that too much. And they do it like even worse in the Clone Wars when on those Trandoshan episodes, and you go into their trophy room. It's like they've got a coat rack full of them.
Yeah,
and this is a kids show. I wanted to point out the major domo of the mayor. I really dug that guy.
Yeah. So wait, this was the guy was like quietly sassing the entire time. Just like, actually, you need to give me a gift. Actually, yeah.
It's like, ooh, small understanding. It's okay.
Yeah,
I would have killed that guy.
The way he delivered his lines was perfect. When he goes like, oh, apologies, like so much sass from him.
Yeah, and you can see how like that guy has survived because it's like he's not being overtly aggressive, but I just want to slap this guy. Do you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I can't because it's rude because he's being nice. You know, you can see how he's weaseled his way like up the chain. You know,
Interesting that he comes in right after the Trandoshan, and Boba Fett is like, even when a Trandoshan's complimenting you, it sounds like a threat. And then this guy comes in, and he's basically doing the same thing, where he's just like, "Oh, apologies, like you misunderstood, but it's all cool. But you better pay us." And like,
absolutely.
I think that's an interesting parallel.
Well, he has like a history with the Trandoshan, right? He said he worked for him.
Oh yeah,
he did. Yeah,
he did
you're
say
right.
that.
Yeah. What was the Trandoshan line that sounded like a threat? It was like, "I hope you live a long time," or I can't remember what it was. But
I hope you stay in Mos Espa forever, or something like that.
Yeah, which could be implied as like, "I hope you're buried here," kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found that interesting too, seeing Mos Espa as it is now, because we see it in the Phantom Menace, and I was like, it did not look like that. So I'm wondering if where they were in the Phantom Menace, was that like a suburb of Mos Espa, or how that works. They did say that he was the mayor of Mos Espa and the surrounding plateaus, but
okay, yeah. They put in some parkour handles on the roof as well, you know, just in case.
Oh, you're right.
Well, when they go into the sanctuary, he like makes a point to say like, "Wow, this place is really thriving, and doing well."
It does.
They must
seem
be
like
if they can afford Max Rebo.
Oh yeah,
that's right. So he escaped, obviously. Like it was just like, I'm bouncing from the
sail barge.
Yeah.
I guess like, is Jabba the only one that died there?
Yeah, it seems to be that everybody
else jumped off
a minute before was like, I don't know, this guy's doing a lot of somersaults. I don't know if I want to be here for how this plays out. Yeah. Actually, that's something. Oh, sorry, go on.
Oh, I was just going to say that this is another instance of me being a hypocrite, where I'm usually very much like, don't bring characters back from the dead. If they died, they died. And but the second Max Rebo shows up, I'm like, thank God. He may have lived through an explosion, but that's fine. I believe it.
Yeah, definitely. He would have read the writing on the wall. That's something I wanted to ask you guys though, in terms of, were there any like continuity breaks or shifts in continuity that were unexpected? Like, this is something you guys will probably know. Like, there was that stormtrooper in the Sarlacc. Was that from something? Obviously not from any of the movies. Like, was that from, you know, because I know Darth Vader's visited multiple times in the comics, like Jabba the Hutt, and did he lose a stormtrooper or two there? Like, I know that the stolen armor is like straight out of, you know, multiple books on the Cobb Vanth storyline. Was there anything that like that kind of threw you in terms of like continuity or?
I did for sure.
We did wonder about the stormtrooper. We were like, how did that get in there?
Yeah.
I mean, like he could have been in there since stormtroopers were a thing. They get digested over the course of 1,000 years and all. So who knows when he fell in? But it's not from anything specific that I know of. I did find it odd.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait for the for the one-shot comic book that explains the stormtrooper who fell in just by accident. Probably. Yeah.
This is what we want, Lucasfilm.
I do. I genuinely want that. So.
Now, I can't think of any big continuity shifts. I guess the Mos Espa thing did surprise me. I was expecting that to be Bestine, Tatooine's capital. It makes sense that it would be Mos Espa, but I was just kind of like, it just looks so different. But like, I can easily over the course of 40 years be like, yeah, it grew, and maybe the mayor's house changed locations. I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting as well because, like, is it Anchorhead? What do we see in what do we see in the other in the Mandalorian where the town is dead, like the bar is dying?
Oh, Pelgo.
Yeah. So what's the difference there? Do you think?
I guess just a different part of the planet.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like it's thriving, as opposed to this other spot which is dying. You know.
Is it more like on the outskirts, maybe?
Oh yeah,
just
that makes sense.
Further away from everything.
If this is where Jabba the Hutt was kind of ruling, then I guess it would make sense that that's where things would grow and thrive a little bit more. Like that he would take all of his riches and spend them in the nearby town.
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Well,
Right.
let's see. I think those are. Oh, you know what? Let's do the last book report question. What do you think was the theme of this episode, James?
I hate this. Why would you do that to me? The theme, I guess. I don't know. Tenacity, survival. Is that a theme? That's more just. I'm just naming words
Yeah.
here. Yeah. I don't know. I think. Yeah. I don't know. Leadership, maybe. I don't know. I'm not really sure. What do you guys think?
Survival.
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah,
think
no.
survival's definitely part of it. The only reason this word came to me is because when I woke up this morning and looked at like the little synopsis, it was like Boba Fett reinvents himself to become a crime lord. And
Mm.
so writing it, I was like, oh yeah, this is about him trying to reinvent himself. And part of that is surviving without his armor and among the Tuscan Raiders and all that. But I've realized that the flashbacks in the present day were telling like these parallel stories of him overcoming struggles and changing who he was in order to survive. And he's kind of in the middle of doing that now in the present day, where he's like, I'm a crime lord now, and just kind of expects everything to happen. And it's
Yeah.
not going that way.
It's like no
Mm.
crime lord actually calls themselves a crime lord kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
That's true. Yeah.
It's like Boba Fett walking around going, I'm an alpha male. Like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
Boba.
right. Yeah.
I saw
That's my
someone
favorite kind of person. Yeah.
I saw someone on Twitter talk about this might be kind of far-fetched, but they mentioned the scene where his helmet, like he's getting in the fight with all the dudes outside and his helmet falls to the ground and all like the money spills out of it. And they were like, that's showing that like if he chooses a life where he only does stuff for money like Jango Fett did, then he'll ultimately meet the same demise and fail. And I was like,
Mm.
what?
That's
Mm.
interesting. Yeah.
That
That's
is
good when
really good.
smart people watch stuff. And
Yeah.
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 I'm like, oh, it's a commentary on this. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really interesting. Yeah. I
I
mean,
think
because
that's
when I
smart.
saw that, I'm like, oh, they're getting their money's worth and they know the limitations of keeping someone's helmet on in The Mandalorian. So he's just constantly like, hello, it's me. It's me, a famous actor. But no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
See, I thought from that, I was wondering if what's her name? Garza, the Twi'lek woman that they met.
Mm.
They
She was
take
great.
his
Well,
helmet,
yeah.
they like insist on cleaning his helmet. They give him money in the helmet, so now he can't put it on. And I was wondering if they were kind of in on
Oh, right.
the
Yeah.
ambush.
Okay.
I mean, that would have been a pretty boss move though if he still put it on and like it all just like
it is
fell
Coin
down.
is filling out.
And then he walks out and he's like, Fennic, pick that up.
Oh no, he would never. He had the Gamorrean guards to do that.
Yeah. Gamorrean Guard 1 and 2, pick that up.
Yeah. They should
Okay.
be bigger, those dudes, I feel, right? They're like they're big, but they I don't know, I feel like they could be
Yeah.
bigger.
They're
I mean,
looking a little lean.
That's what I mean. Oh, I guess they've been in the dungeon, so I don't know.
Yeah. They worked out though. That was, I think, the one thing Fennic Shand kept being like, you should do this, you should do this, you shouldn't do this. And he kept like kind of going the other direction. But I'm like, those Gamorrean guards worked out. They are staying loyal.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay, well, the last little book report thing we have before we get into questions is the main reason I wanted to do these book report things is because the one I found said, draw your favorite scene or draw something that stood out to you in this episode. So we're gonna share those real quick. I have not seen. Oh my god! All right, now I've seen. Oh no, it's not downloading.
Oh,
I've seen James's. So while I download James's, there it is. Let me get this uploaded.
I don't think I've ever done like a drawing show and tell for a book report, but I like it.
Yeah. So this
we
is
used to have like a who, what, when, where, why, and then like a picture. So this is very familiar to me. And as a primary school teacher, this I mean, I don't like being on the other end of it when people are like, think of a theme. I'm like, I don't want to do that.
I'd rather draw. And draw you did. This is very good. So here's James's picture.
I called him the Sand Goro because he's got the 4 arms, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So just if anybody's
let's see, we
like
watched it with subtitles. I also put on like the descriptive audio to see if it got called anything. They only called it the Behemoth in descriptive audio, so I don't think it has a name, but that's very good.
The party hat is killing me.
This is an excellent meme. You should tweet this meme for sure.
I'll tweet it now. Yeah.
He's even got the little water cup. You thought of everything here.
Oh yeah, I thought of everything. I had to find out what that really was in real life and find a picture of it, and yeah, I went all out. So I would have done more, except I spent way too much time on this one thing.
That I did like that. I really thought it was funny when the kid came back and was clearly telling all of his friends and family that he killed this thing. And Boba Fett's just standing there, and the chief is like, all right, here's some water. Like, we all know what really happened.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
Well, excellent use of the meme. Molly, do you want to go next, or should I?
Yeah, I'll go next.
Okay.
So I drew 8D8 being sad that no one's getting tortured. He's got like a little oil leak there.
Is he crying? Oil leak. Okay.
He's not crying. He's just leaking oil out of his eye. It's fine. But yeah, he would have loved to have seen some torture.
There's some detail there. That's really
I'm
good.
impressed. Yeah. He looks kind of like built.
He does, but just the chest, like a spindly.
He was working out that whole time too.
Yeah, he's got that.
Well, it takes a lot of muscle to turn those gonk droids over and then put burners on their feet.
Mm-hmm. I gave him eyebrows too, just to really convey.
So you know he's angry. So I'll share mine. I drew this from memory, or maybe it was just kind of how I was feeling about this scene. But I brought in Max Rebo.
I feel like you guys have got a type. You know what I mean? Like must be Star Wars guys.
I mean, this is definitely what Max Rebo looks like. I think that's
how we all remember him looking.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got your little Max Rebo fan club back there.
I collect big stuff, Max Rebo stuff. It's people that you can just spend an afternoon on Amazon and be like, well, I got all 4 Max Rebo things that exist. So maybe now there will be more.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That is Daddy Rebo.
Daddy Rebo. Good stuff.
Well, do either of you have anything you want to talk about before we head into questions?
Let me just check my notes, but I think we've covered a lot of stuff. Let me think.
Yeah.
Max Rebo. Yep, there we go. Oh, he should have used his jetpack.
Oh, sorry, yeah. I was going to say
when he was circled. I mean,
yeah, it was cool that we briefly got to see like his Return of the Jedi armor and like outfit and stuff, even though it was like inside the Sarlacc. That was cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
I like Chad Rebo.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, I did. Yeah, no, sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I did learn by listening to the descriptive audio that the warrior Tuscan Raider that like challenges him to a fight, that is a woman. That is a female Tuscan Raider. So I was like, yeah, I get it.
There is something about that Tuscan tribe that they just seem a little bit different from like the ones that we saw in Attack of the Clones, where they're all kind of wearing the same stuff. They all seem like warriors. I'm just wondering if they are like this very specific kind of Tuscan Raider that Boba Fett luckily wound up with, and now he's gonna learn to fight with their weapons and stuff.
Yeah, I did also write down that like I think they struck a good balance between the Tuscan Raiders that we see in Episode 3 that are just like monsters torturing, and then we saw them a lot more humane in The Mandalorian. So this was like something in between those two ways of seeing them.
Yeah, they got layers.
Yeah,
got layers.
Like a devil Onion. Does his jetpack work?
Huh. Well, it did in the tragedy in the Mandalorian, in the Mandalorian it worked. But right after he got out of the Sarlacc, probably not.
I was just thinking of when they were circling him. I was like, fly up, man. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Just leave Fennic Shand and fly to a roof.
She's got this.
He's probably nervous. He's probably nervous to use the jetpack in extreme situations like that. Because if that were to happen to again, if somebody were to hit it and he spun out of control, there's no way he would ever be able to be a crime lord after that.
I can't live that down now.
And if you're not wearing a helmet and you hit a wall, you're dead.
Yeah. You know? All right, I'm going to dive into these super chats. We got one from 2Beast that just said, so happy to have these live streams back. Much love. Thanks, 2Beast.
Happy to be doing them.
Yeah, I'm so glad to have some live action Star Wars once a week again. It's been
pretty lean,
a whole
right?
year. Yeah. It's been good having like the Bad Batch and stuff, but I don't know. There's something about live action Star Wars that just gets everyone on Twitter. And like everyone in the fandom is just like watching and talking about this thing. And even I've seen mostly just positive reactions to this, where even if it was a little mixed, people are just like, I'm just glad to see Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Well, they did such a good job getting everyone excited to see him again in The Mandalorian that like everyone was really excited for this show. So
yeah, that's really true. If they had like dropped this out of nowhere and he hadn't appeared, I don't think I would have been as interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like little things that they hinted before, like when Luke Skywalker turns up, spoiler alert, and he's just like, I can't, I'm gonna, no. I'm leaving.
Next up, we've got Batman is My Dad. Thanks for the super chat. As soon as I saw Max, I immediately thought Alex and Molly are going to love that. You were correct. That got a good reaction out of us, despite how early it was this morning when we watched it.
It was very early, but yeah, I mustered up enough strength to just close my eyes and like fist pump.
You're like, he made it. Yes.
I was like, I thought that maybe we would see him in this series, but to get it on the first episode is such a blessing.
Oh my goodness. Just small blessings, you know what I mean? Trying times, and it's just nice to get a little something, you know? Something for the fans.
High Ground Productions says, I like this episode almost as much as James likes Maid Marian.
That's a trick question. That was from Nick Mason, actually, my podcast co-host, who is famously in love with Maid Marian from the Animal Robin Hood movie. Yeah, he's constantly deflecting. It's kind of embarrassing, to be honest. Yeah,
She's a babe in that.
I couldn't tell you. It's not my thing.
A lot of people like either Maid Marian or Robin Hood in that movie.
Sure, yeah. People like Nick Mason. I agree. Other people like that. Yeah.
Other people, not you.
This is an ongoing feud that I have. So, yeah.
How do you feel about Fennic Shand? Because she is named after the Fennec fox.
Is she? Oh my god, that's strange. That's a whole new dimension. I didn't realize that. Yeah. I mean, that's cool. I think that's cool. Yeah.
She's not an actual fox, though. Not that we know of.
You're saying Ming Na Wen is not a fox.
Wow, controversial.
Molly said it.
Her
and her robot tummy.
Yeah, what is
Abs
that?
of steel. Abs of steel.
Abs of steel. Okay.
That's what we decided on last night.
That's fun.
David Wilson asks, do you think it's possible that those particular Tuscans are the ones that worship Vader, and that we might see that Vader effigy burn?
That's great headcanon.
That did cross my mind. I should have brought that up.
I like that idea a lot. I don't think Jon Favreau intended for that. But
what are they from?
They're basically Tuscan Raiders that, survived what happened in Attack of the Clones or know about it.
Yeah. And doesn't he come back and do it again?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because it's the Vader effigy. So Vader comes back after episode 4 and is like, I mean, while I'm on Tatooine, I might as well kill a bunch of Tuscan Raiders.
While I've got you here, yeah.
Yeah. So he does that, and then survivors of that attack start like worshiping him as some sort of warrior god. And yeah, they burn altars or effigies to him, of him. I don't know what purpose exactly, but yeah, I really like that idea, as that's what makes them different.
Yeah, because they've seen something that the others have not seen, you know.
Yeah.
So that would change you, like that experience. I also feel like if you had a lightsaber, you could be anybody and kill a bunch of those. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They're not stopping you. They don't have any ranged. Oh no, they do have ranged weapons. They have guns, don't they? Though these ones, oh no, I didn't. Not that I saw any, but no.
Yeah, they just had like big gaffy sticks, and the kids had sticks.
Yeah,
just regular
that seemed
sticks.
to be about it.
Regular sticks. Yeah.
Although I do think they're going to give Boba a rifle, so they probably have some lying around somewhere.
Yeah,
It's
I
just
think
not
you're
their
right.
main.
Yeah.
I do not think Jon Favreau was like writing this story and going, and then these Tuscan Raiders are descended from the ones that saw Vader. Like, I just think he made them a little different. But
it could be though, and I mean, hypothetically, it could be linked to Obi-Wan. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know whether that happened before or after when Obi-Wan is happening, but yeah.
Yeah, Obi-Wan would have happened before that, but
okay, cool.
This is like one of those things that if they ever do a visual dictionary for the shows or something, it's an easy little write-in to be like, this tribe survived an attack from a Sith Lord long ago. You're like, boom.
Done.
I think that's great headcanon.
Yeah, I agree.
Two Beast, thanks for another super chat. Says, I don't want to startle you, sir, but flashbacks seem to be a majority of this show going forward. I think it's very well paced out and fit well. I felt like the flashbacks weren't that. I felt like they made the episode drag a little bit, but that's just me. And I do think that we're going to get a lot of flashbacks in this show.
Yeah, because they have a lot of stuff they probably, want to tell, but I do hope that they, still move his story forward. And like you said, like maybe they'll show something not on Tatooine. That would be nice.
Yeah.
Imagine a world where that's possible.
No, Tatooine has to be in every Star Wars story.
Look, and that normally I think bothers me, but like telling this particular story, I'm kind of okay with it, and it feels like a different. Doesn't feel as forced. Whereas like in the Mandalorian season 2, when they're like, we have to go back to Tatooine, I'm like, do you have to though? Do you have to do that? Yeah,
completely
I'm okay with it. I feel
it makes sense because of the Sarlacc thing, of course, and his connection to Jabba the Hutt. And like, obviously Tatooine's going to be in Kenobi, and I'm not going to whine about that. But but yeah, sometimes it's just like, we're going to Tatooine and the Mandalorian just because. Like, okay,
just because.
Fine.
I mean, I am excited to see Anchorhead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that got a name drop in this one, and we're pretty sure we're gonna see some stuff there. So.
Tashi Station looks like it's in it, and Ken and Joseph at Force Center talked about the idea that because Biggs Darklighter visited there and was a regular there, maybe there would be a memorial for Biggs at Tashi Station. Maybe nice. I don't know.
Statue, yeah.
Just like a big mustache on the wall that says "Believe" or something. That's Ted Lasso.
It says Biggs leave. I don't know.
It's a big gold mustache. I love it. Urwal with the super chat also said, are these the Tuscans from the Vader cult from the comic? Could be.
Yes.
Definitely could be.
I'm going to say yes. I'm just going to say yes. I like that.
Yeah.
It's good to say yes. Yeah.
Trevin Pettigrew, thank you for your super chat. Do you think the flashback takes place at the same time as Return of the Jedi, or is it like a couple of days or a month? How much time has passed? Great question.
Ooh, I wondered that too. I was like, how long has he been in the Sarlacc?
I'm going to guess not long. It seems like he was running out of air pretty fast.
Yeah, and the explosion was like well and truly done. Like there was not. I guess at least a day, because like it would have cooled down, and in the night.
Yeah.
So I'd say a couple of days, at least a day, maybe. Yeah.
A couple of days in the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, at least one
wow.
night. Yeah.
I'm almost under the impression that Lando flew that sand skiff away and Boba Fett like scrambled back out. Like he just missed him.
But nothing was like burning though. Do you know what I mean? Like
sure.
Yeah. I don't know. But again,
I feel like it would take a solid day or so for the Jawas to come along to steal all the leftover stuff from the explosion.
I feel like they're gonna see smoke in the horizon and be like, let's go now. I don't think they're gonna waste any time.
Yeah, you're probably right. They're opportunist.
But as for the rest of the story, that's harder to say. I don't think it's that long. I don't think he's been with the Tuscan Raiders a month at that point. Probably just a couple days.
Yeah.
But it does make me wonder, like, how are they going to stretch this 5-year time period?
Yeah, I think they're probably going to drop that maybe like 3 or 4 episodes in,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I'm kind of expecting a time jump shortly, but maybe he does stay with the Tuscan Raiders for 5 years. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, but yeah. they seem awful. I wouldn't do that, but
Keep hitting me with sticks.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
Boba Fett gets beat up so much in this episode. I was just like, give him a break.
I know. Let this man rest.
He's old. Like at the end, he's just like, get me out of here. I'm dying.
So I made a joke in our review about how this is kind of like The Last Samurai or any of those stories where it's like the outsider eventually earns their respect and becomes kind of adopted or whatever. I'm like, do you think he's going to get it adopted, learn all their ways, and then just kill them all at the end? Be like, that's for hitting me with a stick.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I feel like this is a lessons learned Boba Fett, but maybe, yeah.
I do think that this is probably a story of Boba Fett becoming a better person and not worse, but
not worse, yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows, yeah.
Guiguio sent in a super chat. Thank you. Another one about the Tuscan tribe. What do you think the darker robes from the Tuscan tribe come from? My headcanon is that this is the tribe that worships Vader from the comics.
I'm trying to look and see if we have any more of those.
I've come back around. We've been asked too many times, and now I don't think it's Vader. I think it's a different thing.
I'm impressed by everyone that had this idea. Like that.
I know, right? Yeah.
Never jumped into my head.
Yeah.
I think they worship Revan because the warrior lady's robes look a lot like Revan's robe.
Easy done. Easy. Yeah. Love it.
I mean, that's not bad, actually. I'm going to jump down to this one from Bill Rudd, who asks if the Tuscan's attire might have been influenced by Maul. Maybe they ran into him during his final hunt for Kenobi.
Okay, yeah.
Because they're wearing black and red.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That seems less likely. Because he was, like, Maul was there for, like, a day, and he had one mission. He wasn't, like, killing Tuscan... Wait, no, he did kill Tuscan Raiders.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. He did.
Just for fun.
I think they attacked him, but in Twin Sons, I'm pretty sure he does kill Tuscan Raiders. So maybe it's the same tribe. First, they were like, all right, black robes for this Vader character. Yeah. And now crazy, this like black and red guy shows up and he's killing us. So let's add a dash of red.
Oh man, I want to see someone who looks ridiculous kill them. So they just did like an insane like rainbow outfit or something. They just add a new thing every time that somebody attacks them.
Dragonus Prime says, it's you, dude. I don't feel like comparing Mando and Book of Boba Fett is totally fair. Mando explores Din's galaxy, but Book of Boba Fett is exploring Boba's. Different eyes. Yeah, I mean, they are related just because it's like, the Favreauverse. I don't know what to call it, but all of these shows that are building towards the climactic event that they teased, they're related in that way, but yeah, I'm not expecting this to be the same thing as Mando.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I agree.
It's a very different story to be told.
I think the similarities are, there are obviously some, but it feels like a completely different narrative. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is just some Mandalorian spin-off side story kind of thing. It feels unique.
And just real quick, I wanted to shout out Brian Ward in the chat. I've had a lot of people comment on how great our thumbnail is. That's Brian Ward.
Oh, Brian Ward, look at this.
Yeah, anytime you see a thumbnail on our channel and you're like, that looks better than normal, it's Brian Ward.
Yeah.
Notice Brian Ward as well. You can see the glass in the glasses. He hasn't just made it clear. There's some like opacity to it. You know what I mean? I notice these attentions to detail. That's good stuff. It's good stuff. He's
the
it's just
best.
perfect. Yeah.
John Booze, thanks for your super chat. Since Dengar missed out on his best pal Legends moment as the one to pick up Boba, how do you envision his spectacular save in the season finale? Are we going to see Dengar?
Yes, I feel like, right?
I don't know. Like, I'm kind of just wondering if the whole thing is going to be set on Tatooine. I hope it's not. I want him to go off and do other things and run into old bounty hunters and stuff. And I feel like it would be odd if Bosk and Dengar and IG-88 and everyone came to Tatooine.
They're all going to hear that Boba Fett's back, though, and they're going to want to hang out.
Pay tribute.
Yeah. I think this is, I don't know, I don't think they're going to leave Tatooine, to be honest. I think it's going to be all, like Jabba the Hutt didn't leave much. Do you know what I mean? Bib Fortuna probably didn't. I can't imagine. That's not to say that I might be wrong, but I don't know. I feel like that's the story they're going to tell.
Yeah, maybe he's going to be more ambitious and be like, all right, I got Tatooine taken care of. Let's spread out.
Yeah.
Geonosis is less than a parsec away, so.
I would love that. I would love to see Geonosis. Though I haven't watched Bad Batch, but it's gone. Is that right?
In Star Wars Rebels, they have pretty much destroyed it.
Yeah,
like
cool.
It exists, but there's nothing alive there.
Oh, good. That's fun.
Yeah. But yeah, I was thinking about that where Dengar saved Boba Fett in Legends and not the Jawa. Well, the Jawas didn't save him; they mugged him. But Dengar saves Boba Fett, and I was like, well, this is definitely gone now. But
there is a comic as well before that. It's set just after Return of the Jedi. It's like one of the original Marvel ones. We got a video on it where basically he gets out, the Jawas drag him out. You've probably read this, and they think he's
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then at the end, he falls back in. Like it's really it's quite funny. Yeah. So he just ends up and Han Solo at the end, he's just like, well, see you. That's it. We're done.
He gets out of the Sarlacc pit twice.
Yeah, boy. So that's pretty funny.
And that is so ridiculous that someone would take the time to be like, we pulled Boba Fett out, and like all the Boba Fett fans are like, yay, and then he just like dives right back in.
Straight back in, yeah. Here's the question. Is the Sarlacc dead? Did he kill it?
I don't know.
I don't know if he did. Yeah.
They're probably pretty resilient, but he definitely gave it a stomach ulcer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he comes back, I think, in the Legends, and he like scorch earths it. Like he like shoots it from space or something or whatever, doesn't he?
Screw that.
Drops a seismic charge in there.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, how good would that be?
Flies the slave one in right above it and just like wah. He should do that. That's the post-credit scene for season 1.
Yeah.
This whole thing is a revenge tale against the Sarlacc.
Yes.
And aren't they sentient? Somewhat.
Yeah, semi-sentient, at least.
I mean,
in
they
Legends.
were in Legends, yeah. Because I remember somebody falls in one and is having he's having a conversation with it, isn't it? Or something, or somebody absorbs,
intelligence, I guess. It absorbs the consciousness of other people. What if they had done that today? That would have been wild. The whole first episode is just him stuck talking to the Sarlacc.
I would kind of love that. I want another flashback, please. Yeah.
Part of me would love that just to see what people who never read the books thought of it. Because like people from the 90s who read Star Wars books would be like, wow, they actually did that. My parents would be like, what is happening?
Yeah. Doesn't he distracts it as well, because to get out, he's like, you're just a amalgamation of just things that you've eaten. You don't have any like real personality or anything of substance. You're just a monster. And that's kind of how he gets out, or tricks it, or distracts it, or something.
He somehow convinces it to like grab his jetpack, and then the jetpack explodes and hurts the Sarlacc enough.
He gives it an existential crisis about who they are.
Who am I? Yeah.
Yeah, he just annoys the Sarlacc until it spits him out and is like, leave me alone.
I don't want you in my consciousness. Yeah.
Oh, this is dark. What if it's all a dream?
Oh no.
Oh, so the Sarlacc. Oh, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I can tell everyone what my parents thought of the episode tomorrow after I get
Did they watch it?
I'm getting lunch with them tomorrow, and they're like, should we watch the Book of Boba Fett? And I was like, if you want to talk about it. And they're like, we're gonna watch it. I'm like, okay.
We're gonna do it. If they can figure out how to get Disney Plus on.
Yeah, they gotta get their Fire Stick working. I have to walk them through it every other week. Jane Dalton, thanks for the super chat. Do you think we'll see any more of Camino, or just flashbacks to his childhood as the series goes on, or will the flashbacks only go forward? Also, James, what do you think the story was?
Okay, the story is well, we've covered a lot of ground there, obviously, but the Boba Fett and the themes and whatever. But the other thing, yes, I think we will get more. I feel.
I do too. It's kind of the same thing where, I mean, part of me is like, I wonder if they just used assets from the Bad Batch, because Camino looked so good in that show.
Yeah.
That it could have just been the Bad Batch stuff. But I'm also like, if you're going to bring it into live action, it feels like you'd do it from more than just one shot.
And like
but maybe it was archive footage too. I don't know.
Tamir Morrison could play Jango Fett, and like they could give him some lines as Jango Fett. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Make him play Jango Fett. Make him play all the clones again. Like,
yeah, just really ruin his week. Yeah.
Get Daniel Logan back in and just de-age him and see how weird that looks.
Yeah.
Or it's not Daniel Logan. It's still Tim, and he's still playing Boba Fett, but they just shrink him down, so he's like a tiny little 60-year-old man. And he's
I'd imagine that have so many like scans of Daniel Logan from their time and like green screen, blue screen footage of him. I'd imagine they probably could put him in using archival footage if they wanted to. Yeah, like young Daniel Logan. I mean,
yeah.
Brett Baumler, thanks so much for the super chat. It seems like the main theme of the show reprises the Crimson Dawn motif at 150. Coincidence or foreshadowing?
Is that the spray paint thing?
I think musically.
Music-wise, I think they're talking about.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yep.
I didn't notice that, but now I want to go back and listen to it again.
Yeah, I'd have to listen to it. I'm gonna guess coincidence. I think it would be awesome if the comics wound up connecting so strongly with the Book of Boba Fett. I don't think they're doing that. The current run of Crimson Reign about Crimson Dawn, the first issue straight up says, this is about the fall of Crimson Dawn and how Kira failed, and this story is a tragedy. Like, that's a line in the comic. So I'm not expecting Kira in this.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get a plug for my light. I can hear you though, so just keep talking. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. The music though in this show is really, really good. What's the other composer's name? Is it James Shirley?
I think that's right.
Something Shirley.
Joe Shirley.
Joe Shirley. I looked him up on IMDb, and it looked like he had worked on Black Panther. So him and Ludwig, I think, have some history together. So
interesting.
I'm excited to hear more of that.
It's like I felt the same way about this theme, the main theme for the show, as I did for The Mandalorian, where the first time I heard it, I was like, this kind of different and interesting. And like, I don't know if it sounds like Star Wars to me. And then like an episode later, I was like, I love this theme. So I think I'm going to have the same basic response to this one, where I'm like, man, this is different, but I like it. Let's see. Grant Miles, thanks for your question. The lead Tuscan Raider's costume is giving me a Cloud Rider in Fist Nest vibe. Love the channel heart. Thanks, Grant.
Yeah.
We've got more theories about these Tuscan Raiders.
Tuscan Raiders. I mean, I assume we'll see more of them if we're staying on Tatooine. So
yeah, that's right. We're gonna get into all the stuff.
It is, Molly. You pointed out to me that one of the Cloud Rider species is there. I don't think it's the same character. I think it was just reusing a costume. But the Melbu.
Yeah, it was that character that you said was based off of a little girl's drawing or something like that. He's just like in the background.
Designer's daughter.
Oh, that one. I didn't see that at all. Okay.
Yeah, they were just in the background talking.
Yeah, right. Okay, cool.
Matt McDonald, thanks for the super chat. Hello, enjoyed today's episode. Felt maybe the silence/grunts of the Tuscans made the flashbacks feel slower. Excited for what's next. Happy late holidays. Yeah, I do feel like just not really knowing what they were saying may have made it feel a little slower, but
that is an interesting point. And maybe it's just because we endured the holiday special so recently. But yeah, the lack of subtitles, where you're just like, what are they saying? And the Tuscans don't even really convey emotion all that well. It's just grunting.
I feel like I didn't notice the length of it, to be honest. I have seen the holiday special. It's excruciating, but those scenes just go on, and it's like, why is this still happening? You know, I didn't feel like that at all.
No, it wasn't that little. I do think there's something to be said about that, though. And part of it was just, I think I was whining about how much time was spent in flashbacks, because I was like, I'm a little more interested in the crime lord stuff. Like, I really like the way they handled the Sarlacc pit, where it's just like, he's in it and he gets out because he's got a flamethrower and armor and gadgets. That's it.
Yep.
Like, they didn't linger on it. There wasn't anything super convoluted about how he did it. He just gets out. And I'm like, great. Check that off. Let's move on. So
that's fair enough.
Yeah. Drew Peisner, thanks for the question. Do you think Boba had luscious locks hidden under that helmet until the Sarlacc's tummy juices burnt them off? Will the Bacta tank restore his head to its former glory? Could this be Boba's big arc? Just getting his hair back.
I don't think it can do that. I think he's I think that's it. I think he's
grew his eyebrows back.
Hair. That's a good point. But maybe he was already bald then. Yeah.
I think he probably was.
Yeah, because his head's kind of like scarred up now. If he did grow hair, it just wouldn't look right.
Yeah.
Probably.
I mean, Vader grew his eyebrows back and not his hair in some versions of Star Wars.
It depends on what you're watching.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that he was bald. He just shaved his head. He seems like the type.
Yeah, he does. He totally does. Just to be like, I cannot like risk hair getting in my face, or being sweaty. Like, it's just, he's like peak like performance. Like a cyclist shaves his legs, he shaves his head. Yeah.
I'm sure Boba Fett shaves his legs too.
He probably does.
Shaves his chest, shaves his back.
Does it all, yeah.
Miranda here. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, long time no super chat. Sorry. Loved the episode, but felt similarly to Alex's review. Do you think we could dive further into the past and explore how Jango became a Mandalore in the wars way back when? Happy New Year. Yeah, I think they could definitely do some Jango Fett stuff, which I think would be cool, but I don't know. With only 7 episodes, I don't know how much deep diving and Jango Fett's past we can do.
Yeah, that feels a little too far removed from Boba Fett's story. I definitely think we could see Jango Fett, but to go into like the Mandalorian Civil Wars, and if he became Mandalore in this continuity, that seems like a lot to get away from. So yeah, they'll save that for. I've seen people make the joke about the journal of Jango Fett. They'll save that for
The
for
journal.
that series.
Perfect.
I would love to see it, to be honest. Even a little bit of it, because one of my favorite comics, and again we've got a video on it, is Blood Ties, the first book, where you see them like little Boba Fett and Jango Fett, and he's training him, and he's just a terrible dad. I mean, he's a pretty, just making him fight like a weird dragon or whatever. Yeah.
Just we haven't. I don't think anyone's talked about Goro yet. You brought him up, but what do you think that was?
I have no idea. Yeah.
Molly was like, "Is that something?" And I was like, "I don't think so. I don't recognize it."
No, I didn't think it was. I mean, sorry, go on.
Someone on Twitter pointed out that it looked like some kind of spidery monster that's in Spy Kids, which is also Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah. That makes sense. I saw a comment in the chat. It was a while back, so I'm sorry I don't have it in front of me. He said it was very like Ray Harryhausen, and I did get that kind of vibe, and like the way it moved, like it could rear up, but then it's almost like a what's the half horse, half person thing called? Can't remember.
Centaur.
Yeah, that kind of vibe when it walked. I thought that was pretty cool. But also, what was it doing? Why is it? What is that?
Does it just live under the sand, or was it like waiting to spring a trap?
Yeah.
Well, apparently all those little like water pods were there, so maybe it lives there because water is there.
Yeah, maybe
and then they came and started to dig it. Oh no!
I don't want to see that thing lay eggs.
No, I've always said, like, in the Star Wars universe, and Mason has a similar theory, that there's no like animal conservation. Like, if you see an animal, you can kill it. Like, there's some exceptions. I think like Rey didn't kill that snake, but literally anything else they come across, it's like, no, you can kill that. It can be the last one in the galaxy. You can kill it. It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah.
I mean, I love the game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, but there's a lot of animal death in that where I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just,
you look like you're probably endangered. Oh no.
That's an element of the gameplay. There's no way of getting around that, really.
No, there's no. They really.
And you also like restore your force by killing things, and I'm like, that doesn't sound right, but
that's not how the force works.
Kill this rat, get more force. The Aka Shachi, thank you for the super chat. It really felt that the flashbacks dragged a little, especially for such a short series. But the scenes in Tatooine were great, especially the Twi'leks. Yeah, I think maybe that's why I'm being a little whiny about the flashbacks, is that I just want this series to do a lot. And maybe I was just kind of realizing and accepting, this is going to be a little slower and it's going to be on Tatooine. And that's okay. I'll accept it for what it is. But I feel like I have to do that with most, especially a Star Wars TV series, where it's like, this is not just a movie that you watch and you're done with. You're going to be with it for 7 weeks. I'm like, I want it to do all this stuff, but it's going to do what the storytellers want it to do.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly it.
Yeah, I liked the Twi'leks. I had to look her name up. Garsa Fwip is a very cool name, and I think we'll probably see her again. She's probably going to be a reoccurring character.
Yeah, and that was Jennifer Beal. Is that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another person who doesn't age.
That is true. I think it might be that one of those situations where she's probably like, maybe she's the actual one in charge. You know what I mean? And the other one is like just a figurehead, and she's running the show potentially. But
that'd be interesting. Like the mayor is just a puppet.
Yeah, like a puppet, exactly. Yeah, or thinks they're in charge, but they're not really, doing anything.
I like that.
Or it's a big monster. They go in the room, it's just a big monster.
There's a bigger Goro.
Yeah, that's right.
The Goro that he killed, that Goro's father is going to come after Boba Fett now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So many revenge stories going on.
Yeah.
Nathan S. with a super chat. We were just talking about this. Is the mayor's emissary actually the mayor in secret?
Oh wow.
So
yeah.
his like, what would they call him? Major Domo. Yeah. I mean,
like that guy.
With that amount of sass, he could be in charge. Who knows?
Yeah.
I like that guy. I think he's really the mayor's major domo. He's
probably got aspirations, but yeah.
Yeah, sure. He gave off those kind of like what are they called? Toady, like a second in command, just kind of like, yeah, I'll do whatever you want. One of those kind of vibes. KJK Productions, thanks for the question. How do we feel about Ludwig doing the score? That guy is incredible. It is interesting that he did like just the main theme, and then Joe Shirley is doing most of the music. But I'm really glad to have Ludwig staying in Star Wars. I wonder if he's going to have his hand in like all of the Favreau shows.
Yeah, but I would say so. Like to have a consistent kind of tone, and then other people can kind of flesh it out, a bit more. Like I'm trying to think. Like the Shadows of the Empire soundtrack. Like it's got the main John Williams like motif, but then you've got other composers kind of building on from it. Yeah.
Yeah. I think. Oh, someone brought it up. So okay, here we go. I'm going to jump ahead to Brett Baumler's super chat because they asked, was that one of the modal nodes with Max Rebo?
Right. Yeah. Yep.
I think it is because they were playing. The subtitles say they were playing a variant of the Cantina theme.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, right.
So I like the idea that Figrin
song,
Dan
but,
and Max Rebo are collabing now.
The descriptive audio name drops Max Rebo, but then just says Bith for the guy next to him. But I mean that's gotta be him. You're right. They're playing the theme.
Or Max just stole that song. He would never do that. It's gotta be Figrin Dan. To finish Brett's question, he also asked, which bounty hunters do you want to see in the show? They want Black Chrysantan personally.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be nice to go beyond like the 6 or whatever we see in Empire. Like those are great. Like any of those would be fine, and Bosk and whatever. But yeah, there's some other ones in the comics that I'd love to see. Yeah, make an appearance.
I mean, everyone wants to see Cad Bane.
Yeah,
I think.
If I can choose just one, it would probably be Cad Bane.
Me too.
Bosk hasn't had a ton of screen time, so I'd like to see him second, but I think I'd rather choose like let's bring another cartoon character into live action. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see that giant hat.
So big.
Such a cool hat.
It's a great hat.
There was a Kyuzo in the background of one scene. They have those big hats, so that could have been Imbo. We don't know yet.
I don't know any of the words you said then. I'm sorry.
He's Zuvio, Constable Zuvio's race.
Oh, the one who was cut out of okay, yep. All
right. Let's see, where are we? Animated Sky, thanks so much for the super chat. Everyone is obsessing over Max Rebo, which is fair, but no one is going to talk about the astromech drummer.
I did love that.
I did not see that at all. I don't
think I did either. I need to go back and look.
I was watching and making just a list of like little details that I loved. I'm probably going to compile that for an end of the season video, but so you got the Bith, you got Max Rebo, and then behind Max is a little astromech playing the drums, and he's got a little symbol on his head and a little arm that comes out and taps the symbol. That's amazing.
Awesome. Love that.
It's like Chopper almost looks like he has a little symbol on his head. That's so cool. I gotta go find that.
I need that action figure or Funko bobblehead or actual drum set if we can do that. But yes, thank you, Animated Sky. Someone needed to point that out. Kay, thank you for your super chat. Just says Happy New Year. Thank you, and Happy New Year to you too.
Absolutely. Have a good one. Have a good and safe one.
I'll go ahead and read the next one too. Queersland Australia asks, is Boba's jetpack damaged? He didn't use it to go up when trapped by the shields. He didn't use it in Mando either. Any thoughts on the Max Rebo song? So he did use it in Mando, which I wouldn't have remembered if we hadn't watched that episode.
Did he use it to like kick someone or something? Like, did he do a big fly kick? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, I think he does in the series.
Like he uses it in combat,
finale.
right? I can't. I don't know.
I think when he's fighting, oh, man, my brain is just farting. The the wrestler girl, not Bo-Katan, but Casca Reeves.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
When he's fighting her, oh wait, no, does she use it? I don't know, but he definitely uses it in the tragedy.
Does use it, yeah. Also, I guess if he used it, he would have left Fennic Shand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably would have been hard to recover from. Like he already saved her life once.
Yeah, he's put all that time in. Why would he just get her killed?
Yeah. Those abs of steel cost a lot of money.
That's right.
That's an investment.
And then thoughts on the Max Rebo song. I mean, I didn't even notice that it was the Cantina song until the second time we watched it. So, I mean, if he stole that song, that's not cool. But I think that is Figrin and Dan, and
it's definitely a collab.
Teamed up, yeah.
That's right. Also, it's Star Wars. Everybody's awful and stealing everything. The universe doesn't make sense. No buttons have any like labels on it. You know, it's fine. I don't think there's any music copyright. It's okay.
Or maybe Figrin and Dan stole it from Max.
Oh,
there's
that's
a rich
maybe,
history.
Yeah, it
to
could
the song
be.
Mad About Me.
That's interesting. Brett Baumler with another super chat. This is the character resurrection I like. Both Boba and Maul have to suffer and go through hell before they come back, and they're changed by it. Yeah, it's.
I think that's fair. I mean, I tend to not want characters to come back to life, but excuse me, like when Maul did it, it was great. I loved everything they did with him. And I'm sure I'm going to like Boba. And also, I'm just used to the idea of Boba being alive because by the time I was a Star Wars fan, I knew that he had survived the Sarlacc pit. So, like, this one doesn't bug me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I hope Boba is changed for the better, though, because Maul changes a little bit, but he's
not quite. He doesn't quite get there,
just
does
a
he?
little.
Right.
Daniel Patrick, thanks for the super chat. Do you think it would have been better to get EV-99 to be in the throne room, or was he off to destroy Cloud City again?
I know Daniel Patrick, if it's the same Daniel Patrick that I'm thinking of. Yeah. He's a big fan of those books. Yeah, no, really. Like, I know. Yeah.
I am going to assume EV-99, I don't know, was dismantled or something. If 8D8 was the only available option, I do think EV-99 probably would have been better. 8D8 is just kind of like, well, that's what we got lying around.
Yeah. Maybe the other one is just like, I will not leave my torture room. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm welded to the floor. I will not move.
Dragonus Prime, thanks for the super chat. I love the title of the episode. Stranger in a Strange Land is a novel about a human born on Mars that comes to Earth, transforming its culture.
Huh.
I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either.
I didn't either. But I like that. And yeah, I mean, that sounds kind of like what Boba Fett's trying to do. Maybe not for like the entire criminal underworld, but at least he is there to do things a little differently.
He was born on
he keeps talking
Camino.
about yeah. Well, I don't think being born on a different planet means as much in the Star Wars galaxy.
You're right. You're right.
But he was born to a different type of life, sort of. Still part of the underworld, kind of.
He was part of a clone army, so
that's gonna
different
do a
enough.
number on you. Yeah, he's pretty different. Like they just tipped a pot out and he like slid out. You know, that's how he was born.
And I also see people talking about in the chat that it's a Bible verse as well. And I'll just jump to Theryl's super chat that says, episode's name is from a 1961 novel and the Bible verse Exodus 2:22.
There you go.
Thyryl also says Beals as Twi'lek is 58. Is the desert centaur in other works. Be sure to use cash for Tatooine Bell. I don't know what the end means, but as far as the
like
Tatooine...
a Taco Bell on Tatooine?
I don't know. But no, the desert centaur is new, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a Rancor. Like I was when it was coming out. No.
Yeah.
I was thinking another Crate Dragon.
Oh, yeah.
But I like the centaur.
Yeah, it's good. And dead. It's dead now.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, that was the last of its kind. Morkbus123, thanks so much for your super chat. What do you think it might mean for the show's storyline that Jen Beals' Twi'lek character Garza has the Rebel Starhawk right on her headdress? Does she?
I didn't.
I want to look.
Sure.
I did not notice that. Kinda. I see what you're saying.
Could she be like a spy?
The more I look at it, I'm like, okay, that does, especially the middle, it does look like it. Yeah, she could be, but that seems like a weird place to be hiding. I mean, I don't know. The New Republic is already in control and everything, so I don't know.
It's just a popular design.
I'm gonna chalk it up to coincidence right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of symbols for stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It could be. I'm just looking. Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
There are a lot of headdresses in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Here, I'll pull it up real quick. I saw someone asked to show it. So let's see. The middle part especially does kind of look like the middle of the Starhawk, but then the sides, yeah, they're symmetrical and everything, but I don't know. You could also say that the middle part of it kind of looks like the Imperial cogs, so I think it's just a coincidence.
Yeah. It's just a nice thing she's wearing.
Just a cool headdress.
Yeah, some cool.
Jonathan Sky, thanks for your question. Why do the Twi'lek females in Book of Boba Fett and in The Mandalorian no longer have their ear cones? Because they just... so in Return of the Jedi and like all the animated series, instead of ears, they just have like cones.
Are those not like... I thought they were like a part of the headdress thing. I didn't realize they were like physically
No, that's
attached.
supposed to be their ears, but honestly, I assume it's probably just because people don't want to deal with the makeup. So they're like, okay, there's a new version of Twi'lek women. Like, deal with it, nerds. I think that's probably the answer.
Yeah, it does seem like an easy alien to kind of do, because you just put a headdress on a person and then paint them the same color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not easy. That's not easy, but you know what I mean? It's better than like a full prosthetic or a CGI character or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Maybe they're still evolving. They grew normal ears.
Yeah. And they could be a mix of like human and Twi'lek or whatever as well, I guess, you know?
Yeah.
If that's a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that is a thing. That makes sense too.
Brett Baumler has another super chat here. The coins in his helmet have New Republic and Arabesh on them. I guess they finally started minting coins.
There you go.
But we saw some New Republic coins in the Gunslinger episode. So, yeah, what I was more surprised by was that Tatooine was using New Republic credits at all. Because Watto was like, no, it's not any good out here. So,
yeah. I guess it is.
Yeah, it is now. Mos Espa's expansion. I guess they started taking more currencies. Video Club Random, thanks for your question. After this and the Obi-Wan show, do you think we could have a break from Tatooine, at least for a few years?
I think Obi-Wan's going to break from it anyway, like within the story. I know you guys have talked about this, but yeah.
Yeah. Obviously it's going to start there, but I think it's not going to spend its whole time on there. That is funny.
Yeah.
The Book of Boba Fett might spend all its time on Tatooine. And Kenobi, the one that made the most sense to stay on Tatooine, he's going to leave.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's always going to be desert planets in Star Wars, I think. We've
There's
just
so many.
seen a lot of it lately. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. As someone who recently got a sand pit installed for Christmas for my kids, there is sand everywhere in my house. It's a nightmare. I can relate.
Do you like it?
I do not like it at all. It's literally everywhere. Like
Is
they
it
take
coarse?
their shoes off. It is coarse.
Is it rough?
It's rough. Yeah.
Is it irritating?
Yes. It's everywhere. He wasn't kidding. I could never relate, but now I'm like, I get it now. I understand that this character's motivations. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think about it every time we go to the beach. I'm like, yeah, sand sucks. Bunch of tiny rocks.
Yeah, it does. It really, like, I like the beach, but the sand is, it's that moment when you leave the beach, you know what I mean? You just have to, like, it's all in your shoes and in your car and everything. Yeah. It should be concrete water at the beach. That's what it should be. They should bathe it all. Just piping hot asphalt, and then water.
Everyone has their designated parking spot that they can hang out in.
Drive right into the ocean.
Yep. Perfect.
Stephen Ray Morris, thanks so much for the super chat. Miss y'all, it's so good to see live action Star Wars again. Favorite OT details you noticed in this episode? Happy New Year.
I mean, there's just so much from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked seeing his Return of the Jedi outfit very briefly while he was in the Sarlacc. Max Rebo.
Max Rebo, yeah. I like the sail, like seeing the cooked like sail barge in the background. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Yeah.
I'll go 8D8 since I've said Max Rebo for everything else, and I did really like seeing 8D8.
Yeah. And just like all the really cool shots of the palace at the beginning there, just
it's
so cool.
It's so cool seeing that stuff again, because you've got these set shots in your mind that you've been watching like your entire life, and even seeing like a slightly different perspective on something is, I don't know, I just find that really interesting. Do you know what I mean? That they recreated this whole thing, and then part of me is like, oh, how much of that did they actually build, and how much is in the volume or whatever? I just find all that stuff, really, really interesting. Yeah.
It also is just, I saw someone on Twitter make the joke about how empty it is and how there are no weird Muppets, and like, we need to get all the weird Muppets back.
I completely agree. I mean, if it was mine, I wouldn't do the weird Muppet thing, but as a fan watching, yes, there should be more weird Muppets. Yeah.
What would you fill your palace with?
Nothing. It would be a nightmare.
Nothing.
Just like screaming aliens and everyone's drunk and just like, no, thank you.
I'll sit here alone and I'll get drunk.
Yeah, exactly. On this very uncomfortable chair. Yeah.
KJK Productions, what's up? Says, hey, James, longtime fan Corey here. I just started my dream job teaching audio engineering producing. Any chance I can be the official audio engineer of the Weekly Planet podcast?
Done and done. I mean, this is hardly the time to ask on a different show, but no, absolutely. And congratulations. That's really awesome.
Yeah, that is cool. Robinator, thanks so much for your super chat. think we will see characters like Kira, Dr. Aphra, and Mace Windu. I don't think we'll be seeing Mace Windu,
Mace.
but
I think we
I like
might
how
see him
that
in
list
yeah.
that list got
Becomes
further and
increasing.
further from
Yeah. I think Mace Windu might. There's a chance he'll show up in Obi-Wan. I would love it if he was living with Obi-Wan and he's just like completely broken and he's just grown out his beard and like the horseshoe, like he's bald, but he's just got like this part grown out and he's missing a hand and he's just like, I'm an idiot. What? I hate everything,
And he's a terrible roommate.
Terrible
Obi-Wan's
roommate,
like,
yeah.
you
Totally,
gotta
just
find a
like-
place, man.
Because one of my problems with the way that they did Mace Windu was that they got Samuel L. Jackson, but he's so boring. Like, what? Like, let's have him like emote and do stuff and like be angry and like all of these things. And I think that would be the perfect opportunity where he lived his entire life a certain way, and then he got absolutely thumped, and then he's like, I need to reassess like what I've been doing and who I am and all of that. But anyway,
He's like, I
sorry,
need to
kinda
swear
went off.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, just swear more. That's what I'm saying. Yes.
I want to
He's
hear
like,
Mace Windu yell Criff
yeah.
and Kark.
He's like, man, being on the Jedi Council made me boring.
Yeah,
Leave those
exactly.
losers behind.
I just love this. Mace Windu's dead? Yeah, he is. I don't know why, like, everyone all the time is always like, do you think Mace Windu's going to show up in this? Like, no, he's dead.
I don't think he's dead. I think they're going to bring him back.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah, I'm one of those. Yeah. Yeah, I think if there's enough push for it with fans, it will happen. You know what I mean? Or if someone's got a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
I mean, it's obviously with Maul and Boba Fett and Palpatine, like, there's plenty of precedents that, yeah, he could have survived being electrocuted and he just lost a hand and was thrown out a window. And, like, he wasn't
fine.
cut in half. He's
No.
fine. So,
exactly. And even if he was, yeah.
Yeah, if he is still alive, I want him to be Samuel L. Jackson's character in Black Snake Moan. Just like,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what I was thinking of. Exactly. Yeah, that vibe. Yeah. I couldn't think of the name. Yeah.
he's the crazy eyes all the time.
Yeah.
But for the rest of no, I don't think any of those characters are going to show up in this story.
Even
Yeah.
a one-shot comic where he's alive in the bowels of Coruscant and like he gets hunted down and then that's it. Even something like that I would love. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah. So I can't read them. So
Oh,
yes.
no, Molly and I alternate, and then sometimes we
Okay,
just sit
gotcha.
here staring at it together. Max Morrison, thanks, says, have y'all thought about the title much? Stranger in a Strange Land is a classic sci-fi book, very generally about challenging customs. So yeah, we did kind of touch on that. And LeWolfie, thank you for your super chat. My biggest question is about how Boba got his face scarred. It seems like he's been that way before the Sarlacc, but I don't know. Also, hi, James, big fan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I assume it was the Sarlacc. I mean, he could have been
Yeah.
scarred before that, but I guess some
You see
stomach acid.
his chest as well. You see it all kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, he didn't do much fighting, like, without the helmet on, so I don't see how he would have gotten all those scars otherwise.
Mm.
And the Bacta seems to be healing him, so
Yeah.
I assume that's just undoing whatever the Sarlacc pit did to him.
Yeah. That makes sense.
James Rockin, thanks so much for your super chat. Do you think we'll see Tramis 3 in canon, the planet from Legends with dinosaurs?
Oh my! I didn't know. I've never heard of this thing. Yeah.
I'm
What's
looking
that?
it up right now.
Oh,
Me too. Tramis 3.
I
Unless
mean,
it's
Rontos already kind of look like dinosaurs.
It has been mentioned in the Last Jedi Visual Dictionary. So
Okay.
technically it is canon. I don't think the fact that it had dinosaurs is canon, but oh wow, it's Tramis 3 was home to gigantic reptilians, sometimes referred to as dinosaurs.
Oh, they have clothes. They have clothes and stuff. I thought they were like wild, but they've got like cloaks and guns things.
This is the universe where they survived because of their cloaks and guns.
Yeah. Asteroid can't kill us. We have cloaks and guns.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Joshua Wilson, thanks for your question. I have no idea what it means, so maybe James does. Did I miss the live Snake Eyes review?
Okay, so yeah, we've been talking up our Snake Eyes review for the G.I. Joe origin movie. We've been pushing it back for like a month, maybe longer. It's not intentional, but this week, the final episode for the year of the Weekly Planet, we will be doing our Snake Eyes review 100%. Yeah, so tune in if you want to know about the movie Snake Eyes, G.I. Joe Origins.
I don't watch anything that's not Star Wars anymore.
Well, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah.
There are wars in G.I. Joe, though. So
yeah, but it's not like the same, you know.
Brett Baumler with another super chat.
Killing
How
it,
do you
Brett.
think? How do you think Sophie Thatcher's biker character will fit in? Could she be the canon equivalent of Aelin Bell, though not actually related to him? She's a rising star, so I expect a sizable role. Yeah, is that the character from the Droids show? Or am I thinking of something else?
I was thinking of someone else, and now you've thrown a wrench in my brain.
I'll Google her. She did get like a cool moment in the last teaser trailer or whatever, and I was like, okay, is she gonna be a noteworthy character?
Got it. What was her name? Sorry.
Aelin Bell. I think that this person is going to be a new character. Like, we saw the speeder bike gang.
Oh, Aelin Bell, granddaughter of Jango Fett? What?
Oh, Boba's...
Is she from Legends as well? Is she?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's a bounty hunter.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in this. I think she's just a new character. I think she's part of the speeder bike gang that we saw this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, is Aelin Bell in the Blood Tie sequel? Is that the one? Where she's Boba Fett's daughter? Did you mention this while I was looking this up? I might have.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I was because we have a book club that we do at Big Sandwich, and we recently recorded an episode on this actual comic. So yeah, I know exactly who this is. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that stuff.
I did see people talking about maybe she was the female character from the Droids cartoon. I can't remember her name, but I was like, yeah.
Oh, the one who's sort of like Rey, sort of? The sand... I don't know. Yeah.
We've only seen a couple episodes of the Droids cartoon.
Yeah, it's excruciating.
Yeah, like every time, I don't know, anyone gets any significance in a trailer, people are like, who's she related to? Who is she that we already know? And I'm like, 95% of the time, it's a brand new character.
Yeah.
Jeremy Owen, thanks for the super chat. I thought the flashbacks were a great way to illustrate how Boba's PTSD from recent and distant past is catching up to him. Any thoughts on that?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're definitely doing that, and I think that the Bacta is showing that he's healing not just physically, but hopefully mentally.
Aw.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And I guess that kind of tracks with him in Legends as well, because he eventually comes to the realization that he doesn't hate Han Solo, and he's just like, I'll be all right. I reckon I'll just be a good guy now.
Yeah, he just got lucky with a stick, and I'll just let it go.
Yeah, that's right. I would not let it go, but each to their own.
Jogproof, thanks for the super chat. What about the male Twi'lek with assigned female at birth ears and teeth? What?
Because the males have the
pointy teeth.
Yeah, males have jagged teeth and normal ears.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I don't focus on all the ears and the teeth of everyone.
Yeah.
But honestly, well, see, I was talking about how they would probably not do the makeup, and that's why they just did away with the cones. But if they're doing ear cones on some people and not others, I don't know what to think anymore.
It's got us so twisted, you know?
Lindsey Brown, thanks for the question. Did you like the part where the kids beat him with sticks?
Mm.
I wouldn't say liked it.
They did. They literally did, though. Like, the kid starts beating on him, and then, like, the adults just kind of, like, go along with it. And I was like, what are they? He's tied to that stump. Just messing with him.
Yeah.
Devin Bolster, thanks so much for the super chat. Do you think Fennic Shand is going to survive the show or end up being killed by Boba for ignoring his orders? I don't think he'd be the one to kill her.
No, I don't think it's that kind of show. Like the way I've looked at this and kind of The Mandalorian, and this is going to sound like an insult, but it's not meant to be. In the same way that like Walker Texas Ranger or like you know, like Hercules Legendary Journeys or Xena. It's like that kind of vibe, you know what I mean? But set within the Star Wars universe, you know what I mean? Not saying it can't happen, but that's just kind of the way that, you know, that I see these. It's like a 90s adventure show, but like, you know, done in the modern day. And again, that sounds like a criticism. It's not. It's like, that's what I love about it. Yeah.
You know, yeah, I think you're right. I do maybe get the sense that Boba Fett's going to build off of what came before a little more, be a little more serialized and less episodic. But I don't know. But yeah, I think they have their set cast, and Fennic Shand's not going anywhere. They're probably going to butt heads here or there, but I don't think it's going to get to the point where it's like, well, one of us has to die.
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to survive the show.
Yeah, me too. Also, I'd like her too.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I think that because I want it.
And
yes.
Because we're still talking about it. Bakey, the next super chat also asks, will Fennic Shand contemplate betraying Boba Fett because he isn't taking her advice? Yeah, I don't think so. I think that she feels that she owes him a life debt, and she'll offer her advice, but I don't think she's going to force him to take it or anything.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like slighted, and maybe they'll build into it. But I think, you know, that's just the working relationship that they have. You know.
Yeah, I think she respects him, and she calls him boss.
Yeah,
they're best friends.
They're best friends. They tell each other their dreams.
Yeah, they share their dream journals. It's adorable.
I would, if it was me and my friend woke up and was like, I had another dream, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, what happened? That's really interesting to me.
Was I in it? Then I don't care.
Actually, to be fair, if it was like, and then I was born on a clone planet and I fell into a sand monster, I'd be like, no, that is interesting, actually. Tell me all about
that. Winter One has got the next two super chats. How would you feel if Rada the Hutt showed up on this series to challenge the throne? Ooh.
Honestly,
is this going to be the show where he makes his big return?
You did a video on this recently, right?
Yeah.
You guys,
and if Rada the Hutt pops up, I will be thrilled. If only because that means people will stop asking what happened to Rada the Hutt. I swear, every single week, someone has to ask. And I'm like, I don't know. No one knows. He was in the Clone Wars movie and another episode, and that's it. He's gone somewhere.
Yeah.
So if he popped up to try to take his rightful place on Jabba's throne, I'd be like, thank God.
Yeah, if we could see a Hutt at all in modern Star Wars, I would love that. Because am I wrong in saying we haven't seen that in live action?
And yeah, I don't think we have since.
I know we've seen it in like the comics and Gracchus, who's like the
right.
Yeah,
and live action,
among others.
Since episode 1.
Episode 1, right? Yeah, that was the last time we saw a Hutt, and even then, it was like, if they do a Hutt again, I hope they go the puppet route.
Oh, they'd have to, right?
I hope so.
I would hope so. Yeah. And then.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna read their next super chat. How do you think the mayor took all of the power after Jabba's death, and Bib Fortuna only had power because he paid tribute for it? Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know anything about this mayor character.
Yeah, it could be that he. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That that he would be in power and not Bib, and Bib was just kind of like, yeah, I'll take what I can get. Like that does make sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that idea, and we'll probably learn more about that in the next episode or two, because what when Fennic Shand captured that assassin, and we've seen in the trailers that they like take that dude back to the mayor.
Yeah.
DJ, thanks for your super chat. Hey, all been following both you guys and girls' content for years. Good stuff. Very envious of all your hair. Where do you
Even
want the
this?
show
Look
to
at this.
go?
Grey hair. Yeah. I have the hair of a 60-year-old man, but thank you.
No, you've got a great that part in the middle. It's very
thanks. Yeah, I have a giant
trunks or-
forehead. So
yeah.
The way I just see like my giant forehead and my grey hair. That's all I can see. But thank you.
You could cosplay as Cobb Vanth.
Oh
Look,
yeah.
it has been mentioned. I appreciate that, but yeah, no, we're not in the same level of attractiveness. Like, it's not about being attractive, is it? It's about, dressing up in a cool thing.
Yeah, you put a helmet on and you'll be fine.
There we go.
You just cover your face up.
Now that I've insulted our guest, where do you want the show to go?
Where do I want this show in general?
Yep.
Like, I don't really know. I don't really have that many expectations, to be honest. I don't have an idea in my mind of where Boba Fett needs to go or be at this point. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need him to meet Han Solo again. I know there's been rumors of like a DH Harrison Ford, and look, cool. If that happened, great. I would love that. But I don't mind, to be honest. This isn't something that I've been like heavily invested in. I'm not reviewing it. You know what I mean? I can just kind of enjoy it and just kind of see what happens and see what they want to do with the story, And I like Robert Rodriguez's work in like this and other stuff that he's done, and I know what does he want to do with it, Yeah. It's very diplomatic.
I just want Boba Fett to be happy.
Yeah, there we go. That's nice.
Yeah, I'm also just trying to keep my expectations not low, just non-existent. Like, just try to go in with whatever they want to show me this week. I'm good with it. Like, that's what I try to do. I still feel like every week I wind up having expectations anyway, but
sure, yeah.
I'm trying
it's
not
hard.
to.
It's hard not to,
Yeah.
especially doing what you do,
Like,
but I think
I'm gonna go ahead.
on. I was going to say, I think you guys are really like even-handed, and I don't think I'm sure you get accused of being shills like on a daily basis, like
That's
I do.
never happened.
But I don't know. I find your commentary like very like even-handed and fair, and like you recognize things that you wanted to see as opposed to what is actually happening or going to happen. And that's kind of why that I watch you guys. And also, you're not just like, I hate this and they've ruined and this, they put a woman in it and whatever. And that's not all of Star Wars discourse, because there's a lot of great creators, but that's what I find refreshing. And you're also unashamedly fans of it, which I think is good. Because also, why else would you want to look at this stuff every day?
We made this our entire lives.
Yeah, that's right. No, I'm in a similar position. Yeah.
I was gonna say too, like, as long as they keep making shows about already established characters that people have known about and loved for years, there's always going to be some element of expectation because of that.
Yeah.
Just that this is a lot of people's favorite character, but yeah.
Yeah. I will say that I don't want to see Han Solo in this. It's the same way like I didn't want to see Luke and Mando.
But I was
it happened
say,
and I liked it.
That's what I mean. Like, do you think like you would ultimately just be disappointed by that, or do you think you'd be like, no, I like that. I like his.
I'm sure if it happened, I'd be like, that was dope. But I also think that that's just that's dangerous because you got to get it right. Like, what if Luke showed up and it sucked? Like,
yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a very fine line. But like I think with like Star Wars and Marvel and a lot of stuff, anything that I don't like, I'm like, they're going to do this for 100 years. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, there'll be
It's a
another
numbers game.
thing. Yeah, that's right. And you know, because I think, you know, a lot. I would say to me, like 30% of Star Wars I love, and very little of it I hate. But you know, most of it I'm just like, yeah, it's good. You know what I mean?
That's
and I think that's
exactly
different
how
for
I
everybody.
feel.
Yeah, like your 30% is different than a different person's 30%, or it might not be 30%, it might be 50 or 10 or whatever. So yeah.
That's what I think about, like Fallen Order a lot, where that was a story in a game, or the High Republic currently, where I'm like, oh my God, they're just nailing this for me. Like, this feels like it is for me, and I love it so much. And that's kind of rare, but I like the rest of Star Wars is worth sifting through, experiencing at least once, just to be like, yeah, that was fine. Like, I might not revisit it over and over again, but every once in a while you hit that piece of gold where you're like, this is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Yeah, I agree.
Nate has the next super chat. Shizor sends Guri as emissary. Did I say that right?
Yeah, all of those things are. Yeah, that sounds correct. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, Prince Shizor is back, right, in the comics. He got a name drop.
Was he? Yeah, so it was just a mention, right?
Yeah.
And I know there's been Black Sun for like ages, but yeah, that's one of my favorite books, and like eras of Star Wars as well. I've got a video on it, but yeah, that was I love that character, and yeah, that whole narrative is really interesting and fun. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I was 8, I think, when Shadows of the Empire was coming out, 8 or 9. So I also love it. That was, I think Shadows of the Empire was my first like big boy book that had like 300 pages in it. I was in 3rd grade, and I was like, I mean, I want to play this video game, and I like Star Wars, so I guess I'll read this book too. So yeah, I love Shadows of the Empire.
Yeah, it's still one of my favorites. Yeah,
I'd be thrilled to see Shizor come back.
Me too.
Video Club Random, thanks for the super chat. Probably the Cantina theme is made by Chingon R. Robert Rodriguez's band. They sounded very similar.
Okay,
that makes sense. Besides this, what else will you be Westworlding this week?
That's another.
I figured anything that doesn't make sense to me, I'm like, James will know.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's we have a segment called "What We Read" and "What We Gonna Read," where we talk about what we read, and it's become a running joke where I say Westworld over the theme because we did Westworld one week. But I'm sorry to everybody who doesn't want to know any of this. So yeah, that's I'm not sure what the question was. I forgot. I got caught up in the explainer.
What else will you be Westworlding this week?
Yeah. So I don't know what else I'm reading. I'm currently watching Station 10 on I think it's an HBO Max show, but it's on Stan in Australia, which I love. It's really terrific. So that's what I've been watching. What about you guys?
I just finished this.
Oh yeah.
Focus.
Oh. Is that a High Republic? Oh, Fallen Star. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that the new one?
Yeah.
I haven't done any High Republic yet. Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
I'd got to do
it,
right? So do you read it in the order that they come out? Do I read all the books and then all the comics? What would you...
Yeah, I would start with Light of the Jedi. Just get like the list of what came out when and read it in order. But you can basically do like the first set of books, and then like the first set of trade paperbacks for the comics, and then the next set of books, and the next set of trade paperbacks.
Gotcha.
Or you can just do the main novels. I mean, the main novels are awesome.
Yeah, the 3 main ones.
Those authors I love, so yeah, I should do that. Danilo says it's Station 11, James, you goof. It is, it's Station 11, I apologize. I was thinking of the prequel, Station 10. Yeah.
Mike Roy, thanks for the super chat. Poker dealing droid Rex looks just like him. Oh yeah, that's
that's the thing. The whatever. Yep.
What's his name? The one in Galaxy's Edge.
Rex.
Yeah.
Oh, Rex. Okay.
I don't think it's the same one. I'm gonna guess no, but
it's like an astromech. There's a bunch of them or whatever.
Yeah, I just
protocol
figure it's
droids, yeah.
another RX droid, but it would be funny if Rex has just been like all over the galaxy. He's like, yeah, I worked with Star Tours for a while, and then I dealt poker on Tatooine or Sabacc, and now I'm a DJ
Yeah.
on Batuu. Like, what a life. Ice, thank you for the super chat. Hi guys, loved this premiere. I like that we're diving into Boba's PTSD, and I love his banter with Fennic. I really like what they're doing with him. Me too. I mean, I'm glad, and I didn't think that they were going to do this, but I remember when The Mandalorian was getting ready to come out, I was like afraid that it would just be a show about a cool guy in cool armor doing cool things and nothing more. And I'm very glad that also Boba Fett is not doing that he has depth and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think about one of my favorite scenes was the one with Bill Burr, and they're sitting at the table. Like, none of that is cool guy in cool armor doing cool things. I mean, it's all very cool, don't get me wrong, but that's the kind of stuff that
I
really
love
like,
that scene so much.
Yeah. I watched it again the other day, like a couple of times. It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that, in the original trilogy, Boba Fett is a man of very few words, and still kind of is in this show. Like, doesn't have a ton of dialogue, and everything he says is very like straight to the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems like Din has kind of taken his place in the mysterious one that always has his helmet on and doesn't talk as much. And because he's able to do that, now Boba Fett's like, well, I guess I'll take my helmet off. And
yeah,
it seems like I take my helmet off all the time, and it's just we happened to see him when he had the helmet on.
Yeah, totally. And I guess also in those scenarios that he was in, you would not take your helmet off. You know what I mean? Like, standing with Darth Vader and stormtroopers and other bounty hunters, you wouldn't risk that,
He was making faces at Darth Vader the whole time.
Probably, yeah.
No disintegrations, but
maybe by the end of this show, we'll just get to see Boba Fett retire, and we'll get to see him in like a Hawaiian shirt, just kicking back, just living it up. Yeah. But maybe somewhere other than Tatooine. Let him retire elsewhere.
Exactly. Like, you see him in sand, and you're like, oh, he's still on Tatooine. Pull back, Hawaiian Island. Yeah.
Sean Sully, what's up, Sean? Thanks for the super chat. This is the best team up since Boba and Fennic.
Wow, high praise. Thank you.
Very high praise. He's our friend. We paid him to say that. Daniel Chick,
money well spent.
Yeah. we pay our friends to just build up our confidence a little bit. Daniel Chick, thanks for the super chat. Just joined. Did you notice the Boston Dynamics droids? We did. I didn't
that stood
like
out
that.
a bit, right? No, I didn't like it either. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, it was like, those are real.
Yeah.
I'm not here for real stuff.
Yeah. Presumably they weren't real, but they could be, right?
I figured they were real.
I assumed they were.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they probably were. Yeah.
Because they're the robots that you see all the videos of people like pushing them and they won't fall over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that one of them did slip.
Yeah, I assume people still do that in Tatooine. They just push those things to see if they can get them to fall over.
It's all right, yeah.
Do you think a Jedi would do it? Would have try to force push one over?
I don't think the Jedi are good like a lot of the time. So yes, I do think they would,
Yeah. Batman is my dad with another super chat says, why are Jawas such jerks?
They have to be. It's like it's the desert, man. It's the Wild West.
I kept making jokes about how Boba Fett must have been mugged by Jawas to lose his armor like that, and then that's exactly what happened. They just started taking it off of him and whacked him, pistol whipped him. I was like, wow, okay. He really did get mugged by Jawas.
I like how they're dangerous as well. Like, you don't expect much from them, and it's the same in The Mandalorian. There's that whole action sequence dedicated to them making a fool of him.
Yeah, they're definitely stronger in numbers, and then their sand crawlers are like giant tanks.
It's funny you mentioned that episode of Mando, because I feel like that was the one for me where I had to like figure out what this show was, where the first one I was like, okay, got it. Yeah, he's a bounty hunter. He found this child. Like, I understand. And then the very next episode, I was like, we're doing like this side quest with this Mudhorn, and he's got to get an egg. And like, yeah, we learn about the child a little bit. He can use the Force. Not a big surprise.
Yeah.
But like that whole action sequence where he's just getting owned by Jawas, I was kind of like, what is this show? It's not what I thought it would be at all.
Yeah. That's to me when it was like, oh, this is Xena. Like,
Right.
This is, you know, yeah. I love that bit where he like obliterates one with a rifle, like just completely like it's just gone. And I guess there's a similar moment in this where he shoots the one with a rocket launcher on the ledge, and there's not even any blood. It's just he's just gone. He's just disappeared entirely.
Well, we talked about like, was that a nod to him disintegrating people? Because like I always just thought the disintegration thing was from the gun that Mando has, but I mean that guy was gone.
Yeah. It's like I don't consider that like disintegration the way that Mando's disruptor rifle will do it. But I mean he did disintegrate that dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
It counts.
Yeah. That guy has been wiped from existence in like all points in time. Like he's gone. Yeah.
He's not even in the multiverse.
Nope.
He's
not, that's right.
Stephen Ray Morris, thanks for another super chat. Didn't ILM use the Brachiosaurus model from Jurassic Park as the basis for the Ronto in the special edition? I'm going to guess that's in reference to our dinosaur talk earlier.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Would have been what, 3 years?
It even like gets back on its hind legs like the
totally
like the
they had the animation
did.
I think it was 93, 97. So yeah. And I think it was it was after George Lucas saw Jurassic Park where it was like, I can do some stuff, right? Like this is
there are dinosaurs in Star Wars.
I can fix some stuff here, you know. I love all these little changes. I used to hate it, but now I'm like, no, it's fun. Just going back, like, just adding all these weird things. And that final gift with McClunky, I'm like, oh, what a gift! What a final gift that he's given us.
I was impressed with how quickly people came around to that, where it was like, oh my god, it's another change, and everyone's just like, you know what? Screw it, McClunky, I'm in. Like, we'll say that for everything now, McClunky. Haha.
I think it would have been different if he had have done the sequel trilogies and then people were screaming at him for, for what he did or didn't do. And then he changed it. That would have been a different.
Yeah.
But I think there is like nostalgia in George Lucas changing things now. Like it's come around, like it's come full circle. Yeah.
I just like to imagine him making all those changes and then being like, good job, man. Just like patting himself on the back. Like I'm killing it.
I finally got Greedo to say McClunky, like I always envisioned.
We didn't have the technology.
Yeah. Why?
Really, I think he's just messing with people. That's what I think. I think he's got like a really like specific and odd sense of humor. And
he's like, what can I get away with now?
Yeah. I love it. I'm sure it was in the contract that was like, this is the version that you have to show for X number of years, which is probably why they haven't released the original and whatever. Yeah, it's cool. Because also, if you want the original versions, you can get them. Like you can get the despecialized and whatever, So it doesn't bother me.
Joshua Wilson, thanks for the super chat. Did anyone get super Star Wars boss fight vibes from the Goro?
Yeah, I saw people making that.
It does feel something like that, right? Yeah.
And then we got kind of like Scorpio vibes too. Is it Scorpio, the one with the chain that comes out
from the Scorpion from the Mortal Kombat
from Mortal Kombat? I know that doesn't say Mortal Kombat, but that just made me think.
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, no, it did feel like if you saw him in the game, he'd be in like pieces. Do you know what I mean? Like he'd be like a 16-bit kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely when you play
graphics.
Yeah, Super Star Wars has some weird enemies on Tatooine.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, I saw people making that that comparison. I liked it.
Me too.
Jacob Ball asks thoughts on Sebastian Stan Luke show. Any ideas? Not really. I don't want that.
A whole show about Luke? Does he need
Do you-
a whole another show?
Do you guys like not want him specifically, or you don't want a Luke show like at all?
I think, I mean, he looks enough like him. I think I'd rather have, if they were going to do a show, I'd rather have that than have all of his shots be CGI. But I don't
would
think
be
we'll get that.
more receptive to an animated Luke show.
Okay,
I think I'd like that more. Just the idea of someone else playing Luke. And I said the same thing about Solo. Even though it was set like way in the past, I was like, I don't know about recasting Han Solo. And I wound up really liking Alden Ehrenreich. So
yeah, me too.
It can work. I just feel like one of the main reasons people want this is because Sebastian Stan looks like Luke, and that's it. And they're like, well, now it just has to happen. I'm like, no, it doesn't. Like we've had enough Luke. We've had enough Vader. Let's do something else. Star Wars is an infinitely huge universe. I'm done with the Skywalkers. I don't need to keep going back to that well.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely watch it. I mean, of course, obviously you guys would too. But yeah, no, I don't know if I would want to see like a deep fake Luke Skywalker, but yeah, like you said, Molly, seeing it, somebody else play it, and then I think you can get more kind of nuance out of the performance, and it wouldn't be maybe as distracting scene to scene, or an animated, like you said, Alex. I think those are good ideas. Yeah. There's rumors of a young Ben Solo something, isn't there? I don't know. There's a lot of rumors of everything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't really keep up with the wild rumors side of things.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Daniel Chick, thanks for the super chat. Just said trans Twi'leks, anyone?
So I think we're talking about the coned, the males with the coned ears and not filed teeth, and vice versa. I still think this is just a makeup thing.
Yeah.
It's certainly like if you want that, if you want to decide that they are trans Twi'leks, go for it. But what I hope it isn't is the creators being like, okay, we snuck a couple trans Twi'leks in there.
Yeah.
And be like, that'll make the trans community happy. Like, no. That's so like little breadcrumbs.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I think it could be a thing where maybe down the line, because often like little choices in Star Wars inform things like later. So what could be like a casting decision or a makeup flub or whatever ends up being something later. So it could be, something they work into canon, but I don't think it was anything intentional.
Wasn't there rumors about I forget her name, the Twi'lek in The Mandalorian, with the one that was always twirling the knife? A lot of people thought she was trans.
Okay.
Well, that's like, because they're talking about the makeup side of things. And I just don't think Lucasfilm is saying like that this is our goal, is to get a trans Twi'lek into Star Wars and then not say anything about it. It's like it doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
But if it's something that makes you happy, then like go for it.
Totally. I completely agree.
Joel Davis, thanks for the question. What do you think Boba's motivation for being a crime lord are? Do you think he wants to be a noble crime lord and bring peace to Tatooine?
That might become like his motivation. Like, we don't really know at this point, like what his deal is. But yeah, I think his intentions are more good than ill, or they will become that. Yeah.
I think he wants to rule with respect. That's what I've been hearing in every single
Where are you
trailer.
getting that from?
Yeah. You're reading some subtext that we have not picked up on. Yeah.
I do think that so we saw the moisture farmers being robbed, and the trailers have shown what I think is that speeder bike gang being beat up by Boba Fett at Tashi Station. So I do think he's seeing kind of like these criminal elements and how they treat people, and maybe he is going to try to be a somewhat benevolent ruler. maybe that's his goal. But yeah,
Mm.
it does seem like a hard left turn. I think maybe his initial motivation is just like, I don't want to be a bounty hunter anymore.
Yeah,
but the
I'm
underworld is
tired.
what I know.
Yeah, yeah. I want to sit in a chair. Like, I don't want to fly around and go to weird planets and get attacked by monsters.
Yeah.
Even though that's happening anyway to him. But yeah.
Doesn't want to be carried through the city though, which that's a bummer.
Mhm.
I would definitely want to do that.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. And I can't imagine a hut like being carried in the heat. Like, it couldn't be for very long, I'd imagine. You know?
That would take a lot of Gamorrean guards to carry Jabba around.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I did like his line where he's like, I walk on my own 2 feet. And he's like so proud of himself.
I know. Like,
and,
yay.
And I keep forgetting her name, but Jessica Biel's is like, oh, good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's like, great.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I tie my own shoes.
Wow.
Fennic's like, he does it.
I do it.
I do.
No, I literally watched Droids put all his clothes on.
Yeah.
Those are pit droids, aren't they? Are they?
They're sort of similar. They had like little wheels that they rolled around on instead of walking on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nathan S., thanks so much for the super chat. My favorite thing is forcing James to explain WP inside jokes. # big sandwich. # different pants.
Yeah, so yeah, Weekly Planet, my podcast. Yeah, that's true. Because then I have to explain it, and then you guys sit there and go, "Oh, okay." Yep. And then most people in the chat are like, "We don't know what this is." So yeah, I'm glad people enjoy it. Yeah.
And Boxanadu just said, yes, they did recycle the dinosaurs for the special editions. ILM used the velociraptors for the Womp Rats. What?
Oh, that makes sense.
You're teaching me stuff.
For the Womp Rats. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's fun.
Figured they'd use the what are the ones called from Jurassic World? The little tiny guys.
Oh, the compies. Yeah.
Compies. Yeah.
Well, that is going to do it for us because we've been going for over 2 hours. James, thank you for hanging out with us and answering all these questions.
For having me. No, I really appreciate it. I'm stuck at home at the moment because of various COVID tests, which I may have mentioned to you guys. I didn't mention that on air, did I?
No.
Yeah, that's so happy to do it. I was going to do it regardless, but yeah, it was really nice to be here, and it's really nice to speak to you guys because we've never actually spoken.
Yeah,
outside of Twitter DMs and the like. Yeah,
which is also a joy.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, it is, and your community is like really wonderful and positive, and like I'm just reading like the comments as we go, and it's just really nice and insightful and polite to each other, and it's really nice to see you've carved out like a really cool community. Yeah,
they're all great. And I'm sure I did, but I remember the first thing that we did together. I did a video for you, like right after The Force Awakens came out.
The the planet thing, whatever it was.
Yeah, Starkiller Base.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
That like the response that I got from your community was insane. Like everyone was so nice and
oh, cool. Yeah, that's really nice to hear.
So right back at you.
Thank you.
But thank you everyone in chat for hanging out with us. We're going to do this for the next 6 Wednesdays. We're going to have another book report with more guests. Thank you all for your questions and being in the chat and your super chats. But we're going to go rest now because we've been up for so long talking about this one episode.
That's how it goes.
Can I ask about upcoming guests, or is that still...
We have next week's and the week after locked in. Next week is, I almost said Mr. Sunday Movies. It's Star Wars Minute.
Oh, awesome. Yep.
We couldn't get Mr. Sunday Movies. He's too big.
No?
But Star Wars Minute.
I wouldn't bother, yeah.
The podcast is going to be on. And for episode 3, we got Lucky Yates is our friend who also does a voice on Archer and is a big Star Wars fan.
Really? That's awesome. Yeah. Oh, cool. So you got some good guests.
Yeah. Should be fun.
And where can everyone...
Not that you guys couldn't done it, then you guys could do it yourself also. Yeah, where can everyone? I've got I'm taking a bit of a break in January, but there's still a few more videos going up on my channel. I'm doing currently the biggest box office hits and bombs of the year, so there's one more of those to go. And our podcast that I do with my good friend Nick Mason called The Weekly Planet. We're doing a yearly wrap up in this coming episode on Monday. So yeah, if people are interested.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next week, and may the force be with you.